Welcome to Reflections on a Grand Passion. I'm Nancy Williams, and I'm here with Matthew Harry, who is one of the most revered as well as influential teacher of adult piano lessons in the Washington, D.C. metro area. Matt is the founder of the Adult Music Student Forum, the AMSF, which since its founding now provides about 50 concerts a year for adult piano students in the greater Washington, D.C. area. Lots of different venues depending upon people's level as well as their interest in performing in public. And I wanted to ask you, because I think a lot of readers are interested in this topic as well, how do you approach the need to develop technique, and what are some of the exercises or composers that you like to use for helping your students gain that?
Part of the problem with the adult students is they are so busy. They don't have time to sit and talk, practice their scales and practice hand and this kind of thing. And they're more interested in learning the music. And the fact is, some pieces, most any piece will help you develop technique. Technique is learning to play the piano the way you want to play it. It doesn't mean learning it to play it fast necessarily, or brilliantly, or in a manner that's fairly showy, but rather in a manner to accomplish the kind of sound, kind of feeling you want to accomplish. So you learn that mostly through the pieces themselves. Mm. Now there's the finger exercises, of which I do use hand.
You do?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Scales, arpeggios, and also chords.
Uh-huh.
But I do it very sparingly because I don't, most of my students don't have enough time with their practice to work on the pieces and technique and that kind of thing. You really need an hour to 90 minutes a day to do that successfully.
That's very true. So when you say sparingly, will you go for some periods of time without the student working on technique and then you'll return to it?
Well, I think any time a student's playing the piano, they're working on technique.
Mm-hmm,
but
right.
You mean as a separate entity?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But frequently frequently students know what they don't want, mm-hmm. but they don't know what they do want. Yeah. And so if you don't know what you do want, it's very hard to achieve it. Mm-hmm. You then just sit around waiting for yourself to get it. Yeah. And occasionally you do get it and then you feel lucky, but you don't know what you've done.
Right.
So it is important to know.
Yeah.
If this were being played on the cello, would you know how?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what would the difference be in the sound of each note? So take this first line, which is only singular notes.
I'd probably do it very legato, and I would use some vibrato at the high points, maybe. I've never tried to play this on the cello, so I don't know.
You haven't tried vibrato on the piano either.
I try, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I feel like it should be sort of shimmering, flowing.
Why don't you play just the first couple measures where we have those single notes, so people will know what we're talking about. All right. Now, when you say legato, you mean
connected, yes.
But you can have the notes connected, but if the attack on the notes is a little too strong, mm-hmm. it's not going to feel as connected.
Right.
What would happen if you'd think of that a little less, with a little less attack on the notes? Mm-hmm. Good. There was a difference there, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm. You're very attuned as a teacher to how the student uses his or her body when playing a piece. Right. The importance of weight in the shoulders, etc. Mm-hmm. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
I think the motion, the performer's motion has changed, probably in my lifetime. It used to be that you did not move, and you'll still find teachers who will criticize students for moving too much. But I just watched so many musicians who did move all the time. Mm. And it's not the showy Miss Piano kind of motion that I'm talking about. They're just structural, large muscle motions that need to take place. And piano students so frequently are taught this kind of thing that they forget that they have arms that need to move too. And that are part of a hopefully a very free-flowing setup with the body that just, enters into the whole performance physically, mentally, and emotionally. But I also find that I can make people's playing more musical by helping them to move more.
Mm.
And it's always amazing how this happens, and I can't explain it, except that motion does make a music more expressive frequently.
Well, thank you for joining us at Reflections on a Grand Passion with Matthew Harry. And again, if you'd like to check out his website, that's www.musicalfossils.com.